The term, the poet of nature, is often associated with William Wordsworth. He was an English poet who played a significant role in the late 18th and early 19th century Romantic literary movement. We know Wordsworth for presenting a deep connection to nature in his poetry. Many of his poems explore the beauty and spiritual significance of the natural world. Wordsworth's poetry emphasizes the philosophy that nature can have a profound influence on the human spirit. His works have had a lasting influence on the development of nature poetry and the Romantic literary movement as a whole. This is the main reason William Wordsworth earned the title of the poet of nature. What is a poet of nature? A poet of nature focuses on themes and subjects related to the natural world. These poets are known for their deep appreciation of and connection to the beauty, power, and wonder of the natural environment. They often use imagery of landscape, flora, fauna, and the changing seasons in their poetry. Some other well-known poets who are often considered poets of nature are John Keats, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Henry David Thoreau, Emily Dickinson, Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Common characteristics in the poetry of nature poet. It is evident from the above-mentioned list of poets of nature that they are often associated with the Romantic literary movement. They share several key characteristics and themes in their works, which are a deep connection to nature, depth of human experience, emotionally charged language, praise of beauty, individualism and self-discovery. Depth of human experience in poetry of Wordsworth. Nature serves as a teacher in his poetry. Wordsworth believes that there are moral and spiritual lessons to those who observe it closely. It is a way of exploring the depth of human experiences. In one of his famous poems, The Tables Turned, he argues that nature's lessons are more valuable than books. The poem suggests that direct contact with nature can offer insights into human nature and the moral order. There is sublimity in nature, and Wordsworth often explores this idea in his poems. The poem, Lines Written in Early Spring, describes the sublime beauty of the natural world. The poem emphasizes the inherent beauty and vitality of nature's creations. Thus, William Wordsworth's poetry explores the transformative power of nature on the human experience, which is a prominent characteristic of a poet of nature. Emotionally charged language in poetry of Wordsworth. The purpose of poets of nature is to describe the natural world. For this purpose, they use vivid and emotionally charged language. Their aim is to evoke sensory and emotional experiences. It allows readers to feel a profound connection to the landscapes and scenes they describe. William Wordsworth is known for his masterful use of emotionally charged language in his poems. His choice of language and imagery reflects his intention of exploring nature from its depth. The poet uses vivid sensory descriptions to engage the reader in the natural world. He appeals to the senses of sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell to create a rich and immersive experience. The purpose of using emotional language is to create a spiritual connection to nature. In his eyes, nature is a source of spiritual insight and renewal. Praise of beauty in poetry of Wordsworth poetry. The poet of nature, William Wordsworth celebrates the beauty and grandeur of the natural world. He writes about the splendor of landscapes, the colors of the seasons, the majesty of mountains, the serenity of water, and the intricate details of plants and animals. Wordsworth finds beauty in the simplicity of everyday life. His common experiences are also based on praise of beauty. He believes that ordinary moments can also be sources of profound beauty and inspiration. I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, also known as Daffodils, 1804, is a poem in which the poet describes the beauty of a field of daffodils. He tells about his experience when he was able to find joy and inspiration. In short, Wordsworth's poetry consistently reflects his belief in the beauty of the natural world, the value of simple and everyday experiences, and the power of beauty to nourish the soul and inspire kindness. This is another characteristic of the poet of nature that the poetry of William Wordsworth fulfills. Individualism and Self-Discovery in Poetry of Wordsworth. Individualism and self-discovery are central themes in the poetry of William Wordsworth, the prominent poet of nature of the Romantic era. Wordsworth's poetry often explores that individuals can find a deeper understanding of themselves and their place in the world through their interactions with nature. The poetry of Wordsworth frequently depicts moments of self-discovery and personal revelation. It often occurs when individuals immerse themselves in the natural world. Hence, nature serves as a source of inspiration and a catalyst for introspection. The poet often gains insights into his own emotions, desires, and spiritual beliefs through an encounter with the natural world. In one of his famous poems, Lines Composed a Few Miles Above Tintern Abbey, the poet reflects on his return to a scenic natural landscape, Tintern Abbey, after a 5-year absence. In the poem, he describes how the sights and sounds of nature have a profound impact on his emotional and spiritual state. He also explores the theme of self-discovery, as he realizes how his relationship with nature has evolved since his last visit. The poet emphasizes the theme of individualism and self-discovery through communion with the natural world. Hence, there is no denying the fact that the poet of nature, William Wordsworth, draws attention to individualism and self-discovery. Conclusion. To make a long story short, William Wordsworth is often considered one of the quintessential poets of nature. Wordsworth's poetry is infused with a profound and intimate connection to nature. He spent a significant portion of his life in rural and natural settings. His poetry reflects his experiences. In his poems, he often reflects on his personal experiences in nature and how they shape his thoughts and emotions. Wordsworth's poetry delves into the depth of human experience. The poet is known for his use of emotionally charged language. His poetry is filled with praise for the beauty of the natural world. Individualism and self-discovery is another major theme in his poetry. His poetry serves as a testament to the enduring power of nature to inspire and enrich the human experience.